Hi everyone, this is Menz here playing the Tier 8 German Premium Tank Destroyer, the Jagdtiger 8.8 centimeter Pack 43, which as you can tell by its name, it equips the 8.8 centimeter Pack 43 L71 gun, which for a Tier 8 tank, pretty good. And the only thing really holding it back is the speed of this tank. As you see, 11.11 rate of fire, which basically 11 rounds per minute. Penetration, nothing wrong there. However, you do have to keep in mind that your AP rounds 203 millimeters of penetration. APCR only bumps it up to 237 millimeters, so you don't always need to use APCR. And against highly sloped armor, it actually makes sense to use AP because it gets a little bit more normalization than APCR. Now, average damage is a little low at 240 damage per shell. 295 damage for HE rounds, but you're not going to use many of them. Accuracy at 0.31 is very good, and aim and time at 2 seconds is very good as well. Now, the armor on this thing, as you see, 250 millimeters in the front. Now, its lower glacis is very weak, and its superstructure is pretty good as well. But basically, you need to cover the lower glacis because many things can go through that. And if you can find a small destroyed tank or a small hill to work behind, then you're going to be pretty much invincible against most tanks, except for if they're using premium shells or you're facing some insane tank destroyer with a lot of penetration. Now, speed. As you see, the engine is very weak for your weight. It's almost a 1-to-1 ratio as far as engine power to weight per ton. Now, that's not very good. Top speeds are capped as well. Traverse speeds also very low. So the main downside of this tank is while it does have good armor on the front and good firepower, you're really lacking the mobility and flexibility to use that firepower. And if someone's coming to flank you, you don't have a very high alpha gun to hold them off either, and they know they can take a shell or two from you and get around you and kill you. So I'm going to hop into a battle here. As you see, I'm using a 100% crew with all the crew skills on them and a rammer, ventilation, and optics. So this will be the lowest reload time you'll see, except for if you use a premium consumable like chocolate. Now for a map like this, can't exactly head up the 9-0 line because it's very slow. By the time I get up there, my team will either have won or lost. So I'm going to hopefully head to the middle of the map. That'll give me the best chance to use my armor, but I will head south where I'm pointing on the mini-map down here, which I like this new mini-map a lot. It helps with keeping track of enemies later on in the match that you might not have noticed. But if nobody heads south, I'm going to head down there just so we don't get flanked. However, it seems like a lot of people are going north. So more likely than not, I'm going to head far south. Just so that's not a complete lost cause. Let's head down here, just so I don't have to be spotted by the enemy potentially and taken out quick by the SPG shell. But for a slow tank like this, you can see it turns very slow. You really have to plan where you're going to go. So while enemies can flank me down here, at least I have the safety of my teammates behind me that can help me if I get in trouble. I'm glad I didn't get spotted and hit there. However, that was a risk I was about to take because I'm pretty sure that E25 spotted ahead of me. Now this tank does make a ton of credits because you're able to do a ton of damage quick, and your AP shells are pretty useful, so you don't have to use a ton of premium rounds. Okay, here's as high as 6. I'm gonna set up to hopefully hide my lower glacis and be able to hit him in the turret. Whether or not that's going to work, we'll see, but one can hope. I can hit this guy, I know that. Kind of surprised he is not moving. The IS-6 is going to be a little harder to hit because he doesn't really have large hatches. Now I'm safe here from artillery unless if they get up an A6, which most people don't head up there, so until they're shooting at me, I'm not going to worry about them. Just going to bump up a little bit more. This is E25. Oh, never mind. He's taken out. I was like, this E25 is behind me. However, we should have enough enemy, or not enemies, allies back there to prevent him from getting too far. But so far our team's going very good, so I'm just going to bump up a little bit more and hopefully they push around. But with the KV-5 giving them an easy shot. Okay, just back right in front of me. It's alright. I don't think they're gonna push up anytime too soon. This is IS-6 though. Let's back up. But as you see, you can reliably bounce shells in this thing, as long as if you hide that lower weak spot. But since it's going well, I'm not going to push anything. I'm just going to stay here. They can't push into us. Well, they can, but they're not going to make it too far. With him running away, I'm just going to back up here, let him shoot me, possibly again. Okay, so they're flanking. I'm able to push up because I'm not going to die before they get down there. Let's just push right into this guy. But yeah, once you have a pretty good lead, you can play more aggressively in this thing. Just wanting to track him there, but I'll take that. But this thing, you're going to have no trouble doing damage. The hard part's just keeping yourself close enough to the fight, because you can easily fall behind and then you're not able to catch back up. Or if you get flanked, you're pretty much screwed. So you really have to put yourself in spots that either enemies can't get around you, or if they do, you have enough backup to be able to take them out quick. I'm gonna guess this T-34-2 is gonna round again, which I missed. However, I should be able to... Oh, never mind, I hit it out. Well, I took the risk there, but there's no chance of us losing, so me shooting him didn't really do anything bad except for cost me a bit of credits. Kind of surprised that Crusader took out that Hellcat, but good job for him. As you see, that IS-6, he really stood no chance. The hatches are very small on top of this, and he was even bouncing off my lower glacis, which he must not have been using heat rounds, but once again, your lower glacis is a weak spot, but against some tanks, they can't even penetrate that. So pretty decent match, a mystery badge 3rd class. Damage-wise, second most on my team, and in the match did 1,752 damage, destroyed one enemy, and blocked 1,560 damage. Now, I made basically 63,000 credits. I came out with 60,000 because I hurt my teammate, unfortunately. But as you can see, for the ammo costs on this thing, just going to put the gun stats up again. Ammo costs are very low for a tier 8 tank. Not the lowest, but low enough to where, since you use mainly AP rounds in this, not APCR, 252 credits per round is very cheap. You're going to rack up a ton of credits in this thing, as long as if you don't get yourself flanked. So a little bit tougher matchup here with the tier 9s. Now, Tier 9s, they can punch through your armor with APCR heat rounds at times, especially the tank destroyers. Luckily, we have the tank destroyers on our team. However, your armor still holds up against most Tier 9 shells thrown at you. Now, usually, slower tanks, people go down to 899 because it's basically a straight shot ahead. However, I don't really like going there because not a lot of places I can hide. Already's easy to aim in at you, and if people get around you and you don't have a lot of help, it's very hard for your team to actually back you up. So I'm going to be heading right here and just going down the 9 line at first. Don't know what that guy's complaining about. The teams are pretty evenly matched. Okay, so hopefully we don't run into too many people because our whole team is going down that one road, which is probably going to end up losing us the match. But I'm going to at least set up over here in a decent spot to where if we get swarmed by tier 9s, we should be okay. Now, I'm not going to sit in base because a lot of areas for them to get around and flank me. Already is easy to hit me, and I'm not really doing anything for the first 3 to 4 minutes of the match until the enemy kills my teammates and moves up and gets me. So I'm just going to position myself, hopefully right behind this Sherman. The only way I can be flanked easily here is if they... I'm not moving up yet. I'm waiting for somebody to either go ahead of me and to the left, or that other Jagdtiger to push up as well. But sitting behind this Sherman, I should be fairly safe unless if Artie gets a good shot on me. Here's Black Prince, which I can't really pen him. He is a pretty good front, but I might be able to get a decent shot on him if I hit a weaker area of his frontal turret. They're not going to be able to push against me though. I'll be able to chew out a lot of damage before they get around me. So I don't really need any help at all over here. It's better for them to focus on killing that Type 59 and TD up there. Okay. Okay, he's actually moving around. That should help me out. More likely than not, he's going to move, come out right here, and I might be able to track him. And if he doesn't have a repair skill or a repair kit, I can keep him tracked. Now our team, they might be faltering here. Shit. Yeah, they're actually not doing that great. Crap, and of course that Black Prince just showed up. I'm just gonna keep him honest. Might be able to go through an APCR round, so I'll see if that happens. Just one shot. Be nice if I can take him out, but it's really a crapshoot. Of course, Artie just took out our Jagdtiger. But these guys are gonna need help. Move back, IS. Oh, back into me. It's not gonna save you. Come on, turn, move. I don't know why you keep frickin' backing straight into me. It's not gonna help you out that much. So we're pretty much screwed anyway, even if we win over here. Way too enemies for too many for us to take out. But yeah, there's that Challenger. Basically screwed. Could have landed my last 2 shots, but what can you do? There was freaking like 5 tanks shooting me from all over the place. But this is why, as I just typed, going down one line on this map, especially the 8 and 9 line, doesn't work. You can find a map strategy guide on my website, watguru.com, and it'll kind of point out that this map plays pretty much left to right, because the 1 and 2 line, you can fire into the 4, 5, and 6 line from it and cover the center of the map, and from the center of the map you can fire into the 7, 8, and 9 line. So it's very important to at least get the 1 and 2 or the center of the map, because if you only hold the 7, 8, and 9 line, you're pretty much unable to push out of it. An enemy can just pretty much ignore you and slow you down and just kind of pin you in there and take out the rest of your team. By the time you are able to react, you've pretty much lost, which is what they just figured out probably about 1 minute ago, and they should have turned around even before getting into the 8-9 line, but unfortunately they weren't exactly paying attention. Wasn't really penetrating the Black Prince good, however I was blocking a lot of shots, and it's just unfortunate that we got overrun because we didn't have a lot of tanks on our side. Overall, I only did 1,428 damage, which is the 4th most on my team. Blocked 770 damage, and still made a little bit of credits as well. But overall, this is a pretty good premium tank, and worth buying as long as if you're good with slower tanks. However, the gun and the armor is very good on it. It's just the main downside of being your mobility. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep up to date new videos I put out, and check out my website, watguru.com.